The Island Monster is a 1954 Italian crime film directed by Roberto Montero. And while it's not a monster movie, it was filmed on an island, the island of Ischia off the coast of Naples. The film stars Renato Vicario, Franca Marzi, and Boris Karloff. An island tourist destination is also rumored to be a major harbor for the drug trade. And so Mario, a fresh-faced narcotics detective, is assigned to the island to help the local authorities. He goes undercover, but as he gets closer, his daughter gets kidnapped. Will Mario find his daughter? Will he discover the criminal mastermind and bring him to justice? The Island Monster was made in Italy, but it's not from any of the homegrown genres that Italy would be known for. The final word in the neo-realist movement, Umberto D., was released in 1952, a time when Federico Fellini was just directing his second movie. The Island Monster, meanwhile, is an Italian attempt at a Hollywood B-movie, with plenty of scenes set on the Italian seaside. A likely reason Boris Karloff agreed to join the cast in the first place. For fans of cops and robbers movies, The Island Monster has a familiar setup. The police, whose pursuit of the criminal, gets personal. Although the story logic gets shaky and shows signs of being rewritten in the editing room. Consider this. Mario is assigned to go undercover to investigate the smuggling ring. The local police want him to string along a local nightclub singer, their most likely means to infiltrate the smuggling ring. When Mario's at the harbor saying goodbye to his wife and daughter, his wife Julia is so worried he'll be distracted by the island women that Mario says she can write and call him at his hotel anytime she wants, as long as she uses his undercover alias. Only a few days pass until Julia arrives at the island anyway, with daughter in tow. The police chief's concerned, but Mario explains why he doesn't have to tell his wife. That night, Julia goes to the nightclub looking for her husband, and the smugglers take the opportunity to promptly kidnap their daughter, who is asleep back in the hotel room, alone. Also, there's not enough Boris Karloff in this movie. Karloff was cast to be the bad guy, but they don't use his gifts nearly enough. His most monstrous scene starts around minute 36, when he's shaking down the detective's daughter. The mystery of the mastermind identity appears to have been intended as a major plot point, not anticipating that the production would cast one of cinema's most infamous faces to play what should have been a mid-act twist. The Island Monster was made during a lull in Boris Karloff's career. He first became a star in 1931 with his portrayal of the Frankenstein monster, and cemented his horror icon status the next year with his star turn in The Mummy. And he was just as celebrated for his sonorous tones as for his penetrating gaze, finding himself in demand for radio, television, even cartoons. But whenever Hollywood's appetite for horror waned, he would accept whatever work he could get, even in other locales. Karloff had previously visited the island of Ischia when he was cast in 1945's Isle of the Dead, but his paid vacation filming Island Monster was less than idyllic. He was the only English-speaking cast member, sometimes the only English speaker on set. He also reportedly had some trouble with the management at his hotel during his stay. At any rate, Karloff left before the English dubbing was recorded, so his dialogue was re-recorded by an impersonator, which is more obvious in some scenes than others. Director Roberto Bianchi Montero may not be remembered for any auteur's flourishes in his work, but he made 5 decades of grindhouse films in a lot of genres. Sword and sandal films, giallo films, spaghetti westerns, war films, spy films, sex comedies, horror films, even a handful of Mondo films, found footage compilations displaying bizarre sights and rituals from around the world. One of his Mondo documentaries, 1964's Mondo Ballardo, or A Fool's World, even received English narration by Boris Karloff himself. So, how do you watch this movie? Well, don't expect any Italian-born film styles. It's a straight-ahead cops and robbers movie, and the location is what makes it Italian. Sometimes they even show off those locales to good effect. Don't expect any type of horror film tropes. There's no blood, no nudity, and no monster in The Island Monster. Now, if you enjoy a film's flaws, you'll find plenty to amuse you. This is perfect for aspiring riffers in the MST3K vein. But if you want to watch this movie sincerely, watch out for the policeman's dog. He really comes into play around minute 45, and the dog saves the movie. If you have a higher opinion of dogs than people, and the island monster certainly won't challenge that hypothesis. Keep an eye out for Mario's dog. Treat him as the hero of this movie, and you will enjoy the best version of this movie.